Hey everybody, welcome back. Uh, this is interesting. As a matter of fact, while I was uploading the last video, this match happened. So you'll see that maybe I was a bit premature on wondering if the Heat FS had been ninja nerfed. Now, there have been a lot of instances in my last few matches where the Heat FS shells have not done anywhere near as much damage as they used to. I'm putting them into the fuel tanks on T-54s from the side, into the crew compartment of the side of T-54s and T-10s, and sometimes into the side and crew compartment and turrets of Leos, and I'm not getting the kill effects that I should be getting. Now, I don't know if it's a case of just guys learning to take less shells in their vehicles or something, and maybe that's I'm just not hitting. But it seems in a few cases it seems like the Heat FS is not creating the jet stream of hot fire that they've been creating in the last few matches, or that they were creating in my previous M103 videos, like the M103 versus T10 compilation video that I put up, where I got all the different T10 kills like right after I got the Heat FS shells. They seemed like they were a lot more effective then. The other match I had there, I think, might have just been an anomaly. It may have just been a case of, you can see in the replay, I noticed after I had already done the replay and started uploading the video, that his shell racks that should be in the back of the T10's turret were empty. So I think he just took some of his shells out. So I mean, that's probably what was actually going on there. I mean, it was just that on top of all the other. I'm gonna sit and watch this next shot coming up here, because I actually got a pretty lucky guesstimation range shot coming up here on an AI T-44. I don't exactly know what the distance is, but it was pretty far. But it was a pretty lucky guesstimation, actually. Boom. But I mean, even on that shot, you can see there's just one stream coming out of the Heat FS shell, and there used to be, I think you'll see it later in this video. I'm doing this commentary as I watch the replay. I think you'll see later in this video, there were a few shots of my Heat FS shells or hits where they actually have multiple streams come out of the Heat FS like a shrapnel shell. And that's what it used to do all the time. It seems like maybe they just modeled the Heat FS now to only shoot a couple streams. I'm not sure. I'll have to do a little more looking, but... Alright, anyway, I'm getting to this actual gameplay here. I'm not a real big fan of Hurricane Forest. It's the terrain at the beginning. It's like, see, it just seems to me like every map and ground forces almost has hills and bumps and stuff at the opening. Like, you're almost always climbing up a hill, except for like Finland and a couple maps, but most of them you start out and you have to drive up a hill. It's just irritating because these tanks take so long to get started anyways. Here I was just looking backwards to see if my squad mate M60 was repairing, because he was so far back behind me, but he was just still taking long range shots. So I'm coming over here because I know this is normally where enemies will come up along this side and this flank over here. And if you look at the map, you can see we only had one Leo out here in front of me, so I was coming over here to give him a little help and backup. And coming up here pretty soon is where we'll get into the purpose behind this video, which is showing the all the 7 player kills that I get with the M103 coming up here, and it's just a massacre. It's just a killing spree. It was hilariously enjoyable. I kept expecting any second I'm going to take a shot in the side and this is going to end just as soon as it's starting to get fun, but it took a while before I finally did get killed. And when I eventually get killed, it's in a pretty predictable manner, as you'll see coming up in a little bit here. But so I'm looking to see if these AI here get killed, and then I notice this guy over here who is totally not seeing me. So first shot here does pretty good damage. I mean, I get 2 of his crew and take out his gun breach, so I was like, alright, well, the Heat FS did pretty good damage there. And then I'm just putting a few more shots onto him to mark him, because I'm still, at this point, I'm expecting the Heat FS to not be effective. And then the next shot, right into the fuel tank and ammo, right in that right side of the T-54 where you want to aim, and it was a beautiful, beautiful kill shot there. So that was a little refreshing to see that hit happen. And then as I traverse over here, I pick up another guy. He doesn't see me. As he's shooting, I think he's hitting our Leo that was over there, or he might have been trying to shoot the AI Jagdtiger. Now, I didn't pick up when I watched this exactly how much damage I did to him, so I'm waiting to reload here, and then I thought I'd be able to see him backing up right here, but I couldn't. So I figure, well, I've got to risk it. I think I got his breach at this point, so I drive up here to get a good look at him, aim for the gas tank again, and kapooyah! So here's 2 in a row, and at this point I'm starting to think, wow, this is my lucky match. And then here I figure, well, I'm dead. And then I realize it's an AI T-44. I thought it was an IS-4 when I first saw it, but it was just an AI T-44. Okay, I must have tabbed out there. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. There's a little hiccup in the video. Unfortunately, I'm recording this audio commentary live, so we'll have to come back to this. Anyway, I blew up that T-44 right there. I'm not exactly sure what happened with the hiccup there. Anyway, moving on. So I'm just pressing forward and forward, and I'm hearing shots go off to the side, off to the left of me here, and I know there are enemies over here. So I just make my way into the village just to see if I can find... I know there's a T-10 around here, and he had just killed somebody, so I'm looking for him. And this guy just kind of drives out right in front of me. And that was about as perfect of a shot as I could get on an IS-3. And about 2 seconds later, as I'm driving up here, if I recall correctly, there should be a T-10 to the left there. Nope, T-54. That shot was much better than I expected to get. That was a far better effect. Now here I see this guy crash through there in the background. So I know he's coming. And then here's, pretty sure this was an AI IS-3. And then that was funny. Look down there at the lower right. That was pretty funny because I had just uploaded this video, the previous video. And then here's that T-10 that had been crashing through the walls that I'd seen earlier over there, and I thought for sure he was going to start driving forward before I could get reloaded, but he was still just hanging out there. And that one just cleared everybody out of his turret area, so... Okay, so at this point here, this is where I decided I needed to start recording this video. So I DVR'd the last bit of Shadow Play, and then started a manual recording, so that was the little hiccup there in the video. I did it while I was sitting still in the tank, so the tank wasn't moving. I don't know what happened in the previous one. But there, that little tiny gap right there was just me switching the recorder on, because I really didn't expect there to be that good of a video. And this guy saw me coming at the last second and started turning his turret, but again, just another one-shot kill to the front of the T-10, so... I don't know. I'm kind of thinking at this point that heat FS shells are still effective, and maybe I was just having some really bad luck with my shot placement. Because again, watch this one. So I don't know. Maybe I just had a little string of bad luck and bad aim, and then in this match, all that bad luck and bad aim got reversed, because boy, it got pretty at this point. I was really enjoying it up to here, although I noticed on the map at this point that I am pretty far out ahead of everybody else and pretty close to their spawn, and being all alone this close to their spawn with the reload time on the M103, that's not where you want to be particularly, but I figured here, alright, I'm just going to cruise through the B point, decap it, and then I'm going to haul back to my friendlies and try to kind of bait on the B point. Wait for something to come through and try to recap it and then move up and blast it. And here, this is what I was talking about before with the predictable death coming up. There it is, ZSU-57, the best anti-tank vehicle at Tier 5 for the Russians. Before I could even first hit, knocks the turret out, and before I could even stop and get the thing turned around, which is a losing proposition in the M103 anyway, it's got such a poor turn ability. But there it was. 7 player kills with the M103 with Heat FS. I can't be too mad about that. And the all the rest of the match was me in the B-57, and then me as well again in the M103 with a respawn vehicle trying to get up and help them cap out B. But by the time I finished up in the B-57 and got back into the M103, our guys already had it capped and the other team was already knocked out. So that was the end of it. So yeah, for conclusions, I guess I just had a string of bad luck with the M103 Heat FS shells, and this match I had a string of good luck. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. It seems like Heat FS is still good. Thanks for watching, everybody.